infiltrate and convince us that this is the same party while we get gaslit about everything that's happening. Like I said, you lost the party. MAGA got fractured, not when Tucker Carlson interviewed Nick Fuentes, but when Donald Trump looked at us in our faces and said, Epstein who?
That was just the first little clip of Candace Owens going scorched earth on Donald Trump for calling us out, for saying, who are you? You know what Trump said about us? He said, if you want the Epstein files released, you don't have my support anymore. That's what he said. He said, you don't have my support anymore. I don't want your support. So why should we support him? That's what Candace is saying. Why in the world would we ever want to support somebody who doesn't want to support us, who doesn't want our support, who says, hey, you're not one of my followers? And then what's even funnier is he come out and release the Epstein files afterwards, after he kind of might have scrubbed his name out a little bit and tried to make it look better for him as they doctored it up. And Candace goes off on Trump right here about what he's done to MAGA, about how he's the one who split the party, not us. Not us, not the America First crowd. It was Trump the entire way. That's what Candace is going off about. I'm Jared Wright, and this is The Right Wing. Make sure you hit the buttons down below. Like, follow, subscribe, turn your notifications on. I bring you this content every single day. I bring you these clips every single day so that you can see what is going on. What are the people saying? What are we saying as Christians, as people involved in politics? What is going on? Because you deserve to know. You should know, because you have a vote in the upcoming election, because you have to live in this country every single day. You deserve to know these things. Let's go dive into these clips now.
You're going to infiltrate and convince us that this is the same party while we get gaslit about everything that's happening. Like I said, you lost the party. MAGA got fractured, not when Tucker Carlson interviewed Nick Fuentes, but when Donald Trump looked at us in our faces and said, Epstein who? That's when it was game over. Because Israel First is a cancer cell. It is a cancer cell, left or right, to everything and everyone that wants to play around with it. It is a radical psychosis that has manifested itself within both parties.
Within both parties. She's very clear about that. Within both parties. That's something we have to understand. This is a cancer cell. This entire Israel First movement, MAGA, you know, M-I-G-A. I didn't say the N-word. Don't crucify me yet. But even though you shouldn't, it doesn't really matter if we're being honest here. But within MAGA, within that, why is it any good for us? And why is it both parties? Why is the only issue both parties can agree on, for some reason, is support for another nation who doesn't offer us anything back? That's what both parties have to say. What is the point of that? That blows my mind. It's mind-boggling. Candace calls it out. Trump is in on it. He's bought out by people like Miriam Adelson and things like that, by that pro-Israel lobby. How insane is it that that's the one thing we can agree on in politics? Not us, but the two sides can agree on. It's both parties that are causing these issues. And I have such a major issue with that. I don't like it. That's one of the major issues. Candace is just absolutely going off on him. Let's just keep going.
And it is so radical that, in case you missed it, yesterday, they started attacking Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper, 23-year-old, bubbly Brett Cooper. She makes the majority of her videos dedicated to pop culture. Yes, she covers things that are, I would say, mainstream politics, nothing too daring, never speaks about Israel. And she did her part, by the way. Zionists wanted her to do her part and encourage New Yorkers to get out and vote against Mamdani. But it's not enough, of course, because this is a radical ideology. You give them 100%. You even say one critique, and they don't want to break bread with you. They want to destroy you. And that's what they want to do to Brett Cooper.
Wow. If you haven't looked at the stuff with Brett Cooper, it's absolutely mind-boggling. She's just innocent. I think she's 23. And she literally just told, I forget, who was she even talking to? Maybe Ted Cruz, one of these dudes, Randy Fine. Hey, maybe you should go live in Israel because I genuinely think you should be happy there. And she says, I'm not even trying to like make this a political thing. Like, I'm being honest. Maybe you should go live there. I think you will be happier there. And she's not even been outspoken about these things. And then she gets called an absolute Nazi. She gets called all of these things as if she's some sort of terrible person. For what? For saying that? Hey, maybe you should go live over there because like you seem to really like it. I don't even watch Brett Cooper. I don't even really keep up with her. And yet this is all over everybody's feed here recently. How they absolutely go after her. And it's so annoying. That's the reality of it. If you even take the miniaturest baby step away from what they want, they will crucify you, it seems. They will hang you up and be like, hey, this is who you don't want to be like. Look at this. And it can be the most innocent person ever, like Brett in this case. How disgusting is that? How terrible is it that that is what MAGA has turned into? That is what Trump's movement has turned into and is now, honestly. It tears me up inside. It makes me upset because I voted for Trump. I did. I've supported him for over a decade. And, you know, here recently in the past little over a year, it hasn't been it. I can't show my support for that anymore because he's proven to me time and time again, he's not going to fight for me or for you or for the American people. So yeah, maybe he was the lesser of two evils, but that's not good enough anymore. That's not good enough to save this country. You know, what's the difference in Trump and Kamala? Maybe this country lasts 5 years or 10 years before, you know, it all falls in on itself. That's the difference. I want to see some real change. I want to see a candidate come in who's going to put our nation first, not another nation like the one in the Middle East we love to talk about but can't really say. That's what we have to do. That's what we need. We need somebody radical in that sense, enough to truly shift the tide. And that's why Candace is going absolute scorched earth on him right here, saying, you tore this party apart, because half the party supports you and half the party says, I don't care who we support as long as they put this nation first and actually deliver us into something good for once, actually take us somewhere where we can prosper. That's what she's saying. And that's the truth. That's what we want. That's what my generation wants. We want somebody who actually cares about this nation and is good enough and dedicated enough to deliver us somewhere that is going to save us, delivers us back to our prosperity, to where we can afford to buy a home, to where we can afford to go get groceries and not have to worry about it. He promised grocery prices will come down, gas prices will come down. None of it has. My costs have gone up. Insurance is sky high. Everything is sky high. And the salary doesn't go anywhere, right? You don't see pay raises across America right now. That's an issue. And that's what Candace is upset about, because we're putting another nation first and not our own. We don't even hardly care about this nation. When it comes to our politicians, they don't care. That tears me up. As a Christian, that tears me up. As a Christian, I want to see Christians supported. And guess where the most Christians are at? Here in the United States. Support us. Don't support another religion, another religious state. I don't care about that. I want to see our prosperity here, a Christian movement here to save this country. I'm Jared Wright. This is The Right Wing. Make sure you hit all those buttons down below if you haven't already. Like, follow, subscribe, turn on the notifications. I need you to know this stuff. We are a movement that will not be stopped, and I'm bringing you these clips, these political and these religious clips, so that we can truly change America for the better, because you deserve to see these things, you deserve to know these things, and we deserve better as a nation. Thank y'all, and I hope y'all have a great day.